Seeker, welcome to the Awakening Her podcast. I am so grateful that you've been led here, and I'm excited for you that you're answering the call to manifest more magic in your life by mastering the law of attraction. So cool. My name is Talia, and I'm committed to cutting the fluff and showing you exactly how to manifest more excitement, ease, success, abundance, confidence, love, and anything else you've been craving. So if you're ready to crack the code on manifestation, amplify your intuition, and play in the quantum, we are now besties. Let's do this. I want you to imagine that you are on a call with somebody in a foreign country and you guys speak totally different languages. So you start the conversation and you say hello, you come for business, you start asking them questions, and they're answering you in a completely different language that you cannot understand. So maybe it's a Zoom call, you're flailing your hands, your body language, you're trying to communicate with this person, but each time they speak back, it is really hard to tell what they're saying. So you get to the point where you acknowledge you're not going to get much done in this meeting. Maybe we should reschedule with a translator or somebody who can help us out. And you acknowledge that you're not really going to get anywhere here and probably end the call at some point. This is what is happening when you're asking your intuition something, you're asking source or your spirit team something, and you don't know how to decipher when it's speaking back to you. So it's important to learn the language of your intuition and what it means to actually be receiving the guidance that is coming back, because when you ask, it is always given. It is always sent back to you. And it's on us to learn how to receive that guidance and learn how to decipher it. Hello, welcome back to the Awakening Her podcast. How's it going? My name is Talia. Thank you for joining me today. I am so excited that you're here. This episode is going to be so good, all about intuition. I can't wait to dive in. So I'm going to go into my 11 seconds, a new thing I've been doing. And it's where for literally just a moment or two, I share about something random and casual from my life, usually nothing that has to do with the episode or anything else. And today I want to share about my book. I get lots of questions about the book. For those of you may know, you may not know, last year, so 2023, January 1st, I don't usually do things January 1st, but I started writing my book and it was written within 3 months. It channeled out of me. I went to Airbnbs. I surrounded myself in several different weekends where I would just write, or I would get, time in my life, whatever. I would just wrote and wrote and wrote. And for 3 months, it just poured out of me. And then I found my editor. What up, Mel? She is amazing. She was a beautiful member of the community and we connected and we've become friends, and she's editing my book and, we're working together and it's just a beautiful mix. So I wrote the book and then went into editing, and I've never written a book before. I love to speak, but I'm not necessarily a writer. So I even went in, I was like, there's no fluff in the book. I'm saying to the editor, I'm like, there's not probably going to be too much we have to cut. It was just over 80,000 words when I gave it to her. Now we are on draft 4 and it's down to like 67. There was fluff. Anyways, it's been a really amazing process. Holy man. To any of you that have written books, or to anyone that is curious about the book writing process, hit me up on Instagram. I'm willing to share anything I've learned, or you share with me your tips, because what a process it truly is. It's a creative project, right? And so the book was there, obviously, the whole why, the content, where I was going was all there, but we've really refined it. And I feel like through her guidance and just going through the process, I found my voice as a writer, which is really fun. And that's going to develop over time because I'm going to write many books. So it's going to morph and change, but it has just been so fun. So we're in draft 4. We are all hoping, me and her, that the next draft is it. We're kind of really fine-tooth combing and trying to, get it done soon, but also it's a live breathing project that needs time to breathe as well, right? So it is coming along. I will keep you updated. And it is the journey of awakening. It's a book of transformation. It's guiding yourself through the biggest shift of your life. It is powerful. It is potent. It is jam-packed. It is channeled. It is It is everything. I am so excited about it. I'm so excited for the people that read it. I know it's going to be one of those books that like stays a staple where you even go back and refer to it because we're always going through transformation and we're always, learning and growing and evolving. So you're going to love it. That's a little update. Okay, so let's move on to today's topic and content. We are talking about how we know that intuition is trying to tell us something. So for lack of better words, how do you know when life is speaking to you, when your intuition is trying to get your attention? So, as I've said in the last couple episodes about intuition, it's just really important that you understand this is direct guidance to source. As a human, especially now that you're an old soul, you have a purpose here to evolve and transform, and that's why you're into self-growth and spirituality and manifestation and development, personal development, is because you came here to evolve, and your intuition is like the lifeline to the highest guidance. It's the GPS to your highest expression, which, because of the law of free will, we don't have to do that, but I'm doing it, and I hope you're coming with me because we all need to go, into the light together, into our next level. But truly, paying attention to your intuition is not just like a roadmap, it is a roadmap to your highest good, to all the abundance, success inside and out, really feeling confident in who you are mixed with the external things you want and just really living that life. Intuition's going to lead you to the highest good. So if you're into this stuff and you have not yet, listen to the last couple episodes. I've been talking about, the last one was how to know if it's intuition or ego. These are just so good for understanding it. If you want to go deeper, we have Awakened Intuition starting really soon. It's a blend of an audio course that's going to be in a podcast format mixed with a live support component. And these episodes are going to be dripped. They're recorded. I'm going to be taking questions. We have a live energy session during it. It's basically a month that can be flexible for you, but also has that accountability where we dive into intuition and you will develop your gift in this. So the link is below. It's Awakened Intuition. It's only $57 because I'm feeling crazy. So that's that. I'll leave that there. So as we learn to tune into this guidance from spirit, again, we have to know how to receive it, or else we're literally not speaking the same language as the universe. We're saying like, what is my next step? And it's showing us. And through your intuition, it's showing you. But then we're like, it's not coming. But like, and then we ask again, what is my next step? And it's like, then it shows you, because we live also in the law of cause and effect and the law of attraction. So you keep asking and it keeps showing you. And then you just keep asking again, kind of in the way that we tend to discount signs. It's like, I want to see a blue sparrow. And then you see a blue sparrow. You're like, well, that could have been there anyway. Anyway, show me another blue sparrow if you're really serious. And it's just funny how we do that. That's normal. It's our head. But we really want to not discount the things that come forward so that we can move forward, so that we can move into our highest expression. So let's dive into that. So the first thing, I have about 6 here that I want to talk about, like surefire ways to know your intuition is speaking to you. So number 1 is you have a strong gut feeling guiding you away from something or someone. I'm going to try to keep these brief, but there's so much I want to say. We all know that you can get a strong pull towards something, right? With intuition, like, I don't know why, I'm just drawn to take a writing course. But you really also want to notice when you have a strong pull away from something. So something or someone. So this could be your job, not just that you like hate your job, like everybody wants to like, oh, I hate my job, but like it makes you cringe inside. It makes you feel restricted and small and sucks away your life force. Or there's a lot of people in my life, not necessarily currently, but that I have met over my whole life, that our energies feel like oil and water, or oil and vinegar. No, wait, that's delicious. Oil and water. And now all I can think of is like fresh bread with balsamic and olive oil. Okay. And it's not that we fought. I'm not a dramatic person. I don't have a bunch of drama between me and people, but it's like it's scritchy. Like I'm just not their kind of person, right? I'm too woo-woo. I'm too sensitive. I'm too like, I lived with some people in my early 20s and it was my bestie and her boyfriend at the time. And I just rubbed him the wrong way, I guess, but I burned incense and he's like, I hate her incense. And I'm like, Bird and egg champa. Anyway, it's just who I am. So some people, your oil, your energy feels like oil and water, and that's also kind of not that you need to like distance yourself, but it's not a match. So your intuition is giving you valuable information to say like less of this person, or your job is literally taking your life force, or certain dynamics. So, of course, there's times when, like, our family makes us feel a certain way, but we still have to see our family. That's when we can get into protection. Also, as long as we're in the intuition, we can ask to be guided in, a dinner or conversations from our intuition so that we are coming from love, but we are also practicing boundaries and limiting ourselves. That's kind of a different thing, but really noticing when you have a nudge away from something. And this can come up in your everyday life where everyone's like gonna go to a concert and they're all going for dinner first. And you get this feeling of like, I don't know why, but like, I don't wanna go for dinner. Or there's people you travel with that you're like, I don't know why, but I do not wanna travel with them. That's an intuitive nudge and a gut feeling. And especially when you kind of go, I don't know why. And maybe that person, has a history of being kind of random or destructive or, whatever. And there are some conscious reasons, but really it's a feeling or a nudge or a knowing where you just kind of go like, no. So yes, we pay attention to things we're drawn toward, always. Unconditional permission to leap in the direction of what you're called toward. But also notice where in your life is asking you, or where your intuition is asking you to pull back from things in your life. What areas of life is your intuition saying, less of that? That could even be alcohol or, even like chemicals in foods and stuff like that. Your body kind of starts going like, less preservatives, less, packaged things. So I want you to really take a second to think about that, where your intuition is nudging you away from something. So the second time when it's your intuition is when you do get a sudden urge to take action. It can have some sort of like, oh, this was a great idea. But usually it's not even fully logical. It's just a sudden urge to be like, I have to do something. This happens to me all the time, not necessarily all the time, meaning like every week, but there are times when like I've joined a program that was an investment way more than what I thought I had. And it's just like, I knew I had to do it. Or I've had downloads. This happened recently for like a massive program. Oh my gosh, I'm not going to talk about it, but it came through and it's like, I have to start taking action. I have to write this down. I have to make the graphic. I have to start getting into the energy of what this is going to be. Holy crap. And so when you get this urge to take action, even if it's like, I want to go for a walk, your intuition's like, go for a walk. You're like, done. You get up, you take action, right? It doesn't always have to be an investment or something like that, anything. So maybe even putting off a call or something, and all of a sudden you're like, you know what? I'm going to phone the person, have the hard phone call. That's this immediate urge to take action. And a lot of my clients have had that with like an urge to start a business or to take a certain course or to go, have a huge pivot in life. And it's like, I don't know, there was this point where I just knew I had to trust in that. So asking yourself right now, where do you have a sudden urge to take action? Just ask yourself that and see what comes forward. Okay, number 3 is you're having vivid dreams that feel significant. I was on Instagram Live the other day, and one of you beautiful souls was talking about that. Can intuition come through dreams? And I was saying absolutely, especially, I think I said those words, when it feels significant. So I don't know fully the total picture on what dreams are. I believe we astro travel, we go to different realities, we rest, our body, regenerates, our subconscious probably does like sorting and our mind processes. There's probably lots of levels of what happens when you sleep, but those dreams that feel significant, basically the ones you remember, they have energy behind them. And even sometimes like I've had dreams before where like like my husband left me and I wake up all like, right? Or someone did something and you wake up like mad. Those can have a charge and then they kind of leave. And that could be just your brain. It also could be almost like, remember to be grateful for your husband. Like, because you wake up going like, oh my God, I'm so glad that didn't really happen. There could be little nudges like that, but those dreams that just stick with you, I know, I don't even have to describe it, whether it's vivid imagery or it's like your mom was there and she's now passed away and she gave you a message, or anything that feels significant, or reoccurring dreams. And again, I don't know if every reoccurring dream is your intuition, because like I had one when I was a kid, and it's just this scene where this thing happens, but I had it over and over and over, and I still don't fully know what it is. My greatest sort of intuitive nudge is that it was something from either a past life or like an imprint, because I like fell down a hill and it was something. But again, I don't think it's now my intuition. But it's when you're going through stuff and you get these dreams that feel meaningful, where you get messages or you get something like, why was there this big eagle? And you look it up, and eagle is, the reminder to remember who you are or something. There's definitely intuition that comes through dreams. For me, this is actually probably the place it comes the least. I don't always remember my dreams, and I have had a really weird history with dreams, actually. That's a different thing. But just noticing and looking in your own life for dreams that feel significant, just trust in it, just trust. If it feels like that, it is. So number 4 is that you keep hearing the same message from like a million different sources. So you keep hearing about somatics, or you keep hearing about inner child healing, or some Kundalini or Reiki or something totally different. You keep hearing about it, and it's like everywhere you go, you're like, I didn't even know what that was a few months ago, and now I just see it everywhere. Think of, for you right now, what's coming up with that. This is your intuition, and it's a little bit blurry here how to describe it, and I'm going to get to it in 2 points in more depth, but it's the universe placing you in the right place at the right time. It's coincidence. So you will coincide with the messages you're meant to receive. But the intuition is the part of you that notices it. So when you notice that like inner child here, you also have an inner nudge being like, inner child. So it's the universe and your intuition co-conspiring for your highest good, the best kind of conspiracy ever. When you notice those themes, and it could be somebody is recommending a book, like When the Body Says No, raise your hand, although I can't see you, if that book came into your life all of a sudden, maybe a few years ago, or maybe, a while ago, and it just was everywhere. It's like, okay, fine, I'll read it. Those types of things, the same content, the same principle, and you're all of a sudden, it kind of verges on like urge to take action. Like you kind of just feel like, I have to learn more about this. Trust in that. So when you're getting the same message, it might even be from like your coach is saying something and your bestie saying something, and then you see some reel on Instagram that's like exactly what you were talking about. Pay attention to those. And you may notice if you're clairsentient, which is clear feeling, that you get tingles when that happens, or some sort of feeling in your body. You may or may not, depending on your type. That's also something to watch for, is like when you hear that, you feel something. And I'm going to get to that again in a second. I want to say here, if you join Awakened Intuition, we're going to go deep into receiving mode, because it is a vibe. As I've said in these last few episodes, like you got to be able to meet your intuition where it's at. It can't scream louder than your head, or than you not paying attention to the sign, or not seeing it as a sign, or discounting it. Like they can't scream louder. You're in the physical, they're in non-physical. So imagine trying to communicate with the physical plane when you're in non-physical, and people think that they're just gonna like materialize in front of them, and so spirit's gonna be like, take this course. But first of all, that would scare you. That's not their jam. They are spirit guides. They are your highest self. They're not here to live life for you. They're here to guide you. So they're being good guides by putting things in your path. If you pay attention to them and are in receiving mode, you will move forward so fast. So I do highly recommend joining Awakened Intuition. As I've said, the link is below, because this is everything. This is life-changing shit right here. Learning how to hear and sense and feel the universe. It's crazy. Anyway, so that one was hearing the same message from a million different sources. Number 5, we have 6 here, and then I'm going to wrap up. So number 5 is you experience a sudden clarity or understanding. People call this a breakthrough, or you're just kind of like, maybe you're driving and you're kind of zoned out on the road, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I could do this and this and this. Or I have this in my business whenever I feel stuck. I literally go into receiving mode and I just like go out on walks and I listen to meditation music and I lay on my yoga mat with my arms open, just really in receiving mode. But then you're doing something and all of a sudden there's this breakthrough. I like to call it an illumination, because these little like illuminations, it's like a bing inside. That's like the perfect sound for it. Bing. And you just kind of feel it. It drops in. And if you haven't experienced that, I believe, or if you don't feel like you've experienced it, you have before, it might be like a really good idea or something that you're like, wait a minute, if I do this and then this. And sometimes it is literally taking you to the grocery store, running your errands, and you're going like, what's the most efficient way? And your intuition is guiding you. Maybe it's away from traffic, or maybe it's so that you end up at the right place at the right time. So sometimes it's very practical where you just kind of go like, oh, that makes sense. And it's like something told you something or you realize something. And that's often intuition. It just really depends what it is. But especially when you get like the clarity. And again, that's going to happen when you quiet the mind, when you get into any place that is more peaceful. And actually things that are like monotonous, where your conscious mind is distracted, I'm going to get into this in the program, it's the perfect place to access intuition, because your conscious mind is distracted and your subconscious can come forward and allow more, or sorry, your subconscious can come forward and also you can allow more guidance in. So something like doing the dishes, driving, going on a walk without like a podcast in or something, even just like stretching or whatever, vacuuming, you can get these hits, right? Working out is a great one where you're doing something and it just, your energy clears and you allow in, literally, that's you allowing in breakthroughs. And so when something just lands and you experience sudden clarity, that is definitely your intuition. Or it might be, as I said, like an understanding, like, oh, I understand now why I do this. I've had that before in my healing journey so much, where there was a pattern in the past where I'm like, I don't know why I do this, or I don't know why I always react this way. It's not logical. And I'd try to figure it out. And then when I went into inner child healing, I wasn't even talking about that with my mentor. But one day I was like, oh, that's why that used to trigger me. Like, I understand, but I was, on a walk when it wasn't because I was journaling or, we were digging into my past. I just realized like, oh my goodness, when I react that way, that's because of an abandonment wound, or that's because of, whatever. It just clarifies everything. That's your intuition guiding you to your highest path. So the greatest understanding, the greatest breakthroughs, the greatest clarity, it gets to be yours when you listen to this beautiful gift. Okay, the last one we're going to talk about is, and I've touched on this in other ones, you get tingles and heightened sensitivity on the spot. This is going to be more for some people and less for others, but it has nothing to do with how strong or valid or legit your intuition is. It's just that some people that are clairsentient or perhaps empaths, they will feel it more in their body. But when something happens and someone says something and you get tingles, or for me, the best way I can describe it is it glows. And some people understand that and some people don't. But it's like somebody says something or I hear something and it glows. It sticks out more than other things. It's usually accompanied with, if you really pay attention, a fluttery feeling, or for everyone, it might be different. It might be in your gut, it might be in your chest, or it might be like up the back of your neck. It's tingles. It feels important. So someone's talking and then all of a sudden there's something they say that you're like, bam, that hit me. That's your intuition going, this is important. Highlight, copy, paste, highlight, this is important. So it does glow. It does stick out. It's an energetic pulse, if that makes sense. So this could happen even when you're trying to decide where to travel and then you see an ad for, some crazy island somewhere and you get these tingles and it's like, ooh, maybe we should go there. That's an intuitive nudge. That's an intuitive nudge to explore that place. So looking for those physical tingles, those physical sensations. Also for any of the other signs I said, like if you get a sudden urge to take action, you will probably feel like a rush in your body. Sometimes your heart can even race a little bit with excitement, like it feels good. It's not stress. So basically what I'm trying to say is that you can feel these tingles or the body sensations along with basically all the other signs. So in recapping, the first one was you get a strong gut feeling guiding you away from someone, and someone or something or a habit or processed food or whatever. Number 2 is you have a sudden urge to take action. Number 3 is you have vivid dreams that feel significant. It feels like it's important. Number 4, you keep hearing the same message from a million different sources. And again, maybe you get tingles when you hear this, or you get a physical sensation. It just feels important. It sticks out. Number 5, you experience sudden clarity, an understanding, a breakthrough, a perspective shift, like on the spot. That's often your spirit team or your higher self, your future self, I guess you could say, dropping in a message, dropping in something you need to know. Like you're ready, here's that clarity. And number 6 is you get tingles or heightened sensitivity on the spot. When someone's saying something, maybe you get an idea, maybe you have that sudden urge to take action, and all of a sudden you get tingles, you get a rush, you feel it in your body. That's an intuitive message. So I genuinely hope that this served you today, my love. If you have not already, come over and find me on Instagram at Talia Joy Manifestation. I post about this stuff all the time, and I've been going live lately. It's just a fun time. Come say hi. Let me know you're listening to the show. I'd love to have you. And I would also love to have you in Awakened Intuition. This is going to be so impactful. Let's move the needle forward in your intuitive gifts. We're also going to go into psychic abilities, talking to your spirit team, connecting with loved ones. It's going to be so powerful. I can't wait to have you there. And with that, I'm out. Love you lots. I will see you in the next episode. Hey, thank you for listening to this episode. It truly means a lot, and I really, really hope that it served you. I invite you to check out the show notes. There's all sorts of action down there, including the Awakening Her daily practice, which is a beautiful daily practice to process your emotions and manifest what it is that you want. In the show notes, you'll also find the Awakening Her Manifesting Apparel store, how to reach me on Instagram and Facebook, as well as some one-to-one opportunities. So make sure to check that out, and I'll see you in the next episode.